Kenyans, listen to me. Let me start with these headlines. Showdown looms after Ruto's tax node. Ruto's health plan to cost 550 billion. All this is in Kenyan shillings. Expensive loans add to tax paying as Ruto signs bill. So Kenyans are angry because the government finally passed the financial bill that included this kind of taxes. And of course, the reasoning behind it is that the government has to be able to finance the debt that they have, about of 8 trillion. Two is that they have to finance their budget as it has been planned or passed. And in some of also those proposals included housing tax that took about 22%. Pay as you earn went up. You may find that most people's paychecks are going to be reduced by about 40%. That only goes in taxes. So you're remaining with 60% that you're going to have to spend on your housing, feeding, transportation here and there. 16% has been included on fuel products there that include petrol, kerosene, aviation, fuel, jet fuel, etc. A number of those. That means the cost of living is definitely going to be high because transporting yourself from one end to another will definitely take a toll. Fuel to transport foods, goods from Uganda, Tanzania, and other countries to come into this country is going to be a little bit expensive if you're importing, okay? Also, transporting your foodstuffs from Shamba, okay, which is a garden, your mboga from whatever you're going to get into those markets will definitely be very costly. That's quite painful for being a Kenyan. I mean, I keep making this joke that being a Kenyan is going to be a painful journey. But the country has 8 trillion in debt. Who's going to pay this money? Would you rather the government goes and borrows money because that's possible and get into debt and fails to pay its debt like Zambia did? And even when Zambia has just become successful in negotiating how they're going to restructure their debt, it's possible. But is that where you want to see the 6th biggest economy on the African continent slide itself into? And very many times, I see politicians talk about widen the tax base, and so much so on forth, and trying to reason. And I've told myself one thing: I never mix politics. When it comes to politics, I don't want to mix logic and sentiment. Sentiment is when you're dealing with your feelings, and this happens a lot with politicians because they don't believe in a system that is in place. I'm not saying Ruto is good. No. I'm not. I'm just saying that we forget about logic when we deal with sentimental issues. We start to say, we overtaxed, this budget is not for people, and we go on the streets and protest. Or we decide to, just speak against the principles that have been set in place to see that the country is back on track. It's a painful thing. Unfortunately, maybe if handled well, forget about the corrupt. Okay, let's assume there's no corruption. Let's assume the money is not misappropriated. Let's assume that everything goes as to plan. In 2 or 3 years, I believe this, that the economy will definitely get back into the right hands. I mean, I come from Uganda and I know this. I've read the budgets from Rwanda, read the budgets from Tanzania, read the budgets in Kenya, South Sudan, DRC budgets. When the budgets were being read, I've gone through all these policies, financial policies that have been put in place. And I should say that whereas the Kenyan budget and plans to finance it look radical and very painful to people, I don't need to be an expert to know that if all goes as planned, the economy will get back to its feet. Painful, but it's a great thing. Goodbye.